support our coverage with a free account on Privacy, the service that keeps you protected when shopping online. Get $5 to try it now by using promo code QZZ2J.
We have our next guest here. Hello.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Compared to yesterday, how are you doing now?
Today, today is like a lot more vivid at the stand, so we have a lot of more visitors and very good audience, very good traction.
Well, that's good to hear. For those who haven't seen you before, go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
Hey, so my name is Ruben. I'm co-founder and CEO at Stacksync. So what we provide is real-time and two-way sync between enterprise systems and databases, and specifically CRMs and databases. So what we do is very simple. We connect your CRM, like Salesforce or HubSpot, to your database. And with two-way sync, we turn your DB into a read and write interface to your CRM. So now engineers can manipulate and update data into the CRM without touching a single API call, which makes you 90% faster to integrate.
Okay, that's cool. So in this case, your target customer, maybe, your target customer is enterprise, but the people that you're targeting for usage is engineers who are trying to integrate with the CRM into their product or wherever.
Absolutely. So basically, like the end user is an engineer who has to, or a consultant or CRM consultant who has to integrate the CRM. So right now the workflow is very complex. They have to use APIs. They have to use like different tools like MuleSoft, like Workato, like whatever tools they are using. It costs a lot of money. It takes months to integrate, and it's very complex.
Yes.
And usually when you need to do an update on that workflow, you have to go through the whole process again. And Stacksync, doesn't make you feel like CRM integration is reinventing the wheel over and over again. Just make you, like in 2 clicks with no code from a simple UI, you can synchronize all your CRM data with your database, which is like any custom fields or custom objects. Very flexible.
Wow. Okay. I'm a software engineer.
All right.
I have done CRM integrations, and they are awful.
Yeah. Engineers hate CRM APIs. That's exactly why we're saving this pain.
Okay. You've taken the pain on yourself.
Exactly. But that's my job, so it's good.
Okay. So what kind of implementations have you seen? Like, what kind of interesting places has this been used so far?
Absolutely. So today our customers, we have some customers who plan to do their CRM integration with 6 months budget. Like once a new Stacksync, they plan 6 weeks, and like in 10 days we got them like in production. So they're completely mind blown. So CRM integration basically like is kind of various use cases, right? So we have this first use case of data activation. So in the database or data warehouse, like Snowflake or BigQuery, you have a lot of customer insights, a lot of customer data. Yeah. But this data is not accessible by the business people, which actually take action and work daily on the CRM.
Okay.
So then like the challenge is how do you ship metrics, customer metrics from the data warehouse to the CRM? And this is where Stacksync comes in, because it enables you with simple SQL queries to compute metrics with your own business logic and ship it back to your CRM without API calls directly within your data warehouse. So now let's imagine that you can just manipulate a table within BigQuery or Snowflake, and that's going to manipulate your CRM. That's the first use case.
Without actually making alterations to the end result of the CRM.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So nothing you do is likely to screw up what your sales team or your support team is doing in the CRM, but you can then use it as if it's your own data in your system to combine it with usage in an application or with hardware or whatever.
Absolutely.
Your system is tracking data for a user that support and sales knows nothing about.
Exactly.
And essentially it's bringing all the systems together so that sales and support can see all that data from the other side, and probably vice versa.
Absolutely. So essentially, like Stacksync is going to connect your CRM and your database, but like this is going to be with two-way sync is going to be a one-to-one data mapping. So what you see in the CRM is what you see in the database, and vice versa. So eventually, if you modify the database, it's going to modify your CRM equally. So eventually, like you say, well, will it screw up? I mean, like you can screw up the CRM.
I understand.
Because like two-way sync is a very powerful tool, but Stacksync has a full suite of tools which enables you to protect that. For example, let's say if you know that this specific workflow should not delete records, you can say I disable the delete record operation. So basically, you have delete record protection on your CRM. So even if, let's say, you have anybody coming up in your database and deleting all the records, basically it's not going to impact your CRM. And you can protect against some sort of modification. That's the first thing. And then you have the second tool that is very, very powerful, is that, let's say, in the databases are way more flexible than CRMs. Let's say here you have like a string, you can write anything.
Because you own it.
Exactly, because you own it and you don't have restrictions. Let's say in CRM you might have a unique constraint on emails because you can't have this, two customer records with the same email.
Right.
But on the database you can. I mean, like if you didn't put a constraint explicitly.
If you didn't put the constraint in yourself.
And so basically, if you do so, Stacksync is going to let you know that the CRM did not accept, let's say, to create a record there, and it's going to put it to you into an issue where you can either revert the issue. Let's say you want to say, okay, this was an error, I want to revert the data. Or you can like retry to sync if, let's say, you deactivated let's say the constraint rule on the email in the CRM, then you just deactivate the rule, you try to sync, and now it's going to sync. So it's like you have a whole dashboard of tools which enables you to pinpoint and resolve issues with the point of a click, and you don't have to manually deep dive into both data sources to find what the issues are.
Okay, that's cool. So you get sync logs, sync error logs all together. Okay, that's important.
You have a full monitoring of that.
Okay, very cool. So in our database, we discover that we don't have the email constraint. There's now 2 users in the database with the same email.
Exactly.
It tries to connect that over to the CRM. The CRM goes, you can't do that. We already know that person.
Absolutely.
You get an exception report. Nope, the sync doesn't work.
Exactly.
And now, not necessarily an engineer, somebody can go in and say, yes, this is a bad record. We need to go deal with it in the database, or we need to put a constraint into the database. This is a mistake in the database design.
Absolutely.
Or, no, this is a mistake in the CRM setup.
And you can just modify. And you can just remove the constraint in the CRM.
Okay.
Or like if you think this is you don't want to add a constraint into the database, but this is still an error, and you want to delete that record because this second record basically is a duplicate for some reason into your data pipeline, which happened here. What you do is that you can just click
race
reverse
condition or whatever.
Exactly. You can just click delete, and Stacksync is going to go into your into the database and delete that record that you created by mistake.
So it has the ability to control both sides. So somebody who's not necessarily an engineer can go in and say, this is a mistake. This shouldn't have happened. Whoop.
Exactly. So now you have...
this was a mistake. It shouldn't have happened. It's okay on this side.
Exactly.
Very cool.
And this is so with no code, we can give to business people like the power to control a fully technical tool, which was not a possibility. And this all in business terms. So you're sure there is a full understanding of what we are doing. And so technically, so business people can use it, but mostly it's like no code for developers. Basically, this tool is mostly geared toward developers who still know what to do. So basically, the risk is very minimized because the stakeholders which are dealing with our platform are somehow technical.
Okay. So what's the cost on something like this?
The cost is like it's a pay-as-you-go model.
Okay.
So you're only gonna pay for the monthly active rows that you consume. So let's say you have 10 million contacts into your CRM and only 1 million updated this month. You're only going to pay only going to bill for 1 million records, and like the 9 million stale records will not count toward your monthly bill, which basically reduces like considerably your costs, because essentially Stacksync enables you to manage your mutable data at scale. And this is very important when you have let's say a customer relationship that you need to maintain over time into your CRM, and therefore maintain data over time.
Right.
And when when you have to maintain data over time, errors can happen everywhere.
Yeah.
So Stacksync here jumps in helps you to maintain your data consistency through like this entire time period, and therefore we don't want to penalize people to have a lot of mutable data over time. That's why we have this pay to go. So this makes it very cheap for small players and affordable for large players. And basically, usually we reduce 90% of the cost compared to a consulting alternative or like other tools like Segment and other reverse ETL tools as well.
Okay, very cool. And obviously, it sounds like this is already in the wild.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's already in production to many customers, like small and big. So anybody can go and trade out, also with developer instances. It's for free for 2 weeks, and like anytime like customer needs support, we are here to help. Happy to help. Very
cool. Well, obviously, people are going to want to find out more about this. How can they get that information?
They can go to stacksync.cloud, so stacksync.cloud, our website, and just sign up for free for 2 weeks and try the product as much as they want.
Very cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, have an amazing day.
You too. Have a good rest of the show.
Thank you.
The Tech Podcast Network CES 2024 coverage is executive produced by Michelle Mendez. Technical directors are Kurt Corliss and Adam Barker. Associate producers are Nancy Ertz, Clinton Millsap, Sergio Velasquez, and Terry Willingham. Voiceover by Aaron Hurst. Our hosts are Marlo Anderson, Don Bain, Todd Cochran, Scott Ertz, and Christopher Jordan. Studio and equipment are provided by PLUGHITZ Productions. This has been a Tech Podcast Network broadcast, copyright 2024.